Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see how to use custom transfer for messaging session. In Salesforce, for chat we have transfer, and even for other service channels we can make use of transfer. Even for Service Cloud Voice we currently have, but we don't have this feature for messaging session. There is an idea out there to have this feature as a standard feature. I will be sharing the links to the steps for this implementation and as well as for the idea to vote. In order to transfer the messaging session, I'm going to use a custom object here, and then I'm going to route this custom object record instead of transferring the original messaging session, because once the messaging session is closed, the status will be ended. I don't want to transfer the ended session to another agent to start the conversation. Instead of that, I'm going to use a custom object, and I'm going to route this custom object record to the agent, so that the agent can accept the custom object record from omnichannel, and then they can click start conversation button to start the conversation with the end user. So first I have created a simple custom object called messaging session transfer. Next, I have created three lookup fields. One is for messaging session, and the other one is for messaging user, and the last one is for user. So this particular messaging session, this messaging user, will be transferred to the agent whom we select in this user field. So a simple custom object with three custom fields. Okay. Next, I have created a simple lightning aura component. In this aura component, I am using Omni Toolkit API. I will tell the purpose of this, and then I am using record edit form. So I will be auto populating messaging session, messaging user, and I will let the agent to select user to whom they want to transfer the messaging session, and then they can click transfer button to transfer the messaging session record. But what is going to happen is it will create a custom object record, and that particular custom object record will be routed to another agent. So I have made sure this is disabled so that agent will just see this information, but they won't be able to edit it. Okay, and I have two methods here. One is doing it here. I'm calling an Apex class. The Apex class name is transfer messaging session controller. Here I'm passing the messaging session ID, and then I'm returning the messaging end user ID. This messaging end user ID will be used here in the lightning input field. Yeah, I'm passing the messaging session ID, and then I'm getting the messaging end user ID. Okay, the next method is handle submit. So once the user clicks transfer button, this method will be called. Here I am checking whether the current session is active. If it is routed via omni-channel, it will be active. If it is active, I am closing the work agent work. So if agent A got a message from the customer, it will end that messaging session, and then it will create that messaging session transfer custom object record. So this custom object record will be created, and then I'm closing the quick action, and then I'm refreshing the view. Okay, and I created a quick action on the messaging session object using the lightning component which we discussed. And then I have added this transfer session quick action to the messaging session page layout. Okay, Next, the next important thing is we have to create a service channel for the custom object. See, for this messaging session transfer custom object, I created a service channel. So this is the only way we can transfer this uh, messaging session transfer record to an agent. Okay, next I have created an omni flow. Okay, in this omni flow I have two variables. One is record ID and next is user ID. So which record should go to which user will be defined here. And then I'm using the root action, core action, root work core action, and then I have selected which record will be passed and to which agent it should be passed. Yeah, it is still loading. So, and I have one more record triggered flow. So this record triggered flow will be called whenever the messaging session transfer record is created. Once this record is created, I am just calling the messaging session transfer omni flow. This is the flow I am calling from here. And then I am passing the record ID and the record ID's user. Here I am setting which record will be routed, and then I am selecting the channel as messaging session transfer, and then I am selecting the route to as agent. So whatever user ID is passed, I am passing the user ID. And for a backup, I have a queue called messaging session transfer. So if this agent is busy or out of capacity, or if he is offline, then it will go to this messaging session transfer queue. Yeah, I'm just calling that messaging session omni flow from this record triggered flow. Okay, next let's see this in action. So I wanted to transfer this messaging session record. It is not an active session, it is a ended session, but still I want to transfer this. So I will just click transfer session, which is a quick action which we created. I will have to select an agent and then I have to just click transfer. It will create a record in this messaging session transfer object. Next, it will call this record triggered flow, and then it will pass the record ID and the user ID to the omni flow, and the omni flow will route the record. So I got the record. So now as an agent, I know that this is the messaging user, this is the messaging session which was transferred to me. So as an agent, I can click this and then I can click start conversation to start the conversation with the end user. Currently, since there is no standard transfer feature for Lightning messaging session, I have used a custom component, a custom object, couple of flows, and then we were able to transfer the messaging session from one agent to another agent, and we can make use of the standard start conversation quick action to start the conversation with the customer. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching.